Now this is your warning for the entire video. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, you feel sick, or you feel like you need to take a step back, please turn off this video and do not continue watching.
Tonight's story. 2 haunted dolls were rumored to have ruined a man's life. From smoking cars to objects flying off shelves, the original owner wanted them gone. After Beckie Galentine posted them on TikTok, thousands of comments have flooded in about paranormal activity happening even after seeing the dolls. Reports of sickness, poltergeist activity, and overall fear have surfaced on the internet. The only common factor, these haunted dolls. She has called upon the assistance of Kalani Ghost Hunter to help her uncover the mystery of these cursed items.
I'm a paranormal investigator, and recently people have been coming to me with what they believe to be our haunted objects. I don't buy these items. Often they feel they need to get them out of their life to clear themselves of whatever bad experiences that they're having. I have a room in my house that's dedicated to these objects where I investigate these claims and see if there's some truth to it. Most of the time, once the change of ownership occurs and the object is in my hands, we don't experience any activity. These aren't objects that come from a business where people are selling haunted objects. So they're not intentionally haunted. It's often just something that happens serendipitously. Most of the items are pretty benign, but there are some interesting pieces, like a clock that was made for a serial killer's daughter while he was in prison. We have graves that were used as cinder blocks to hold up the foundation of a house. A hair wreath that has provided a ton of activity. And most people recognize the twins that garnered international attention when we told their story. On November 16th, a collector that I know posted on Instagram that he had a couple of dolls and they had convinced him that the paranormal was real. I left a comment basically saying good, thinking he was joking, and he said no, it's been ghastly. I immediately questioned him in his DMs and I said, what's going on? And that's when he told me this entire travesty that occurred over the course of the past couple of weeks where he had these 2 dolls. What got my attention is, unlike other claims of haunted objects, this person is a pretty well-known collector of antiquities. His name is Ryan Matthew Cohen. He collects objects that are ranging hundreds to thousands of years old in his house. In over decades of collecting and working with museums, this was the first time he felt that something had haunted him. He told me that the paranormal wasn't something that really interested him, so for him to be convinced by an object was really compelling just as it was, before I even heard the story. The activity started when they had a photographer visit their home for photographs that would accompany their book that talks about their years of collecting. When they moved the dolls, because they had been around for a while, but when they moved them to photograph them, they brought them downstairs and set them on a cutting board. They photographed them, and during this time, Ryan does the one thing that we kind of are advised not to do, which is insult them the whole time and made jokes about them. He put them back in their place, and this is when things started to get out of hand. They're in the room and their mouths both fell out. So both of the dolls have these hinge jaws that these ventriloquist dolls have, and they both fall out at the same time. And obviously you can chalk that up to coincidence, but he wanted to secure them to make sure that this didn't happen again. Now, if you're familiar with Ryan's collection, he collects hands. Hands are one of the biggest interests that he has. And he sets some of these hands up where the dolls are, and just hours later they come crashing down and it breaks one of their heads. This is just the beginning. This is when the dolls start to affect his business. We have a business relationship that he's had for 14 years end. This is really starting to mentally weigh down on him at this point. Some of it he was able to chalk up to as a coincidence, but other things he couldn't explain. There was just so much misfortune happening back to back that it had to be the dolls. All of these things are happening. In the back of his mind, Ryan knows that he was warned about these dolls when he bought them. He realizes that maybe insulting them was a mistake, and he mended the dolls. He puts their mouths back and he apologizes. He uses sage and hopes for the best. It seemed to quiet down for a little bit. After smudging and apologizing, things started to get better with the businesses. One of the things that had happened, actually, they went back on their word and said, we worked out the differences, everything's okay. So November 16th passed and he told me things were getting better, and I offered to take the dolls and he said, no, we're gonna hang on to them for a little bit longer. So he truly wanted to keep them, but by December, something happened and he had to let them go. He messaged me at midnight just a few weeks ago, and he said, I need these dolls gone, emergency level. I said, what is happening? I just happened to wake up in the middle of the night and check my phone. He said, one travesty after another. I'll call you in the morning. I thought maybe I wouldn't hear from him. You know, some people sleep things off and let it go. Literally the first thing in the morning, he calls me. And he tells me that at his one event, he sets up, because they do the Oddities flea market, and his car breaks down. Can you imagine, you're organizing this event and there's hundreds of people, not thousands of people that attend these, and you have to get your car jumped outside. It's obviously very frustrating, but maybe it's not the dolls. That following weekend, they're taking a trip to New Jersey. They have a new car with 18,000 miles on it, and it starts smoking. They have to pull over. When he was sending these messages to me, he was Ubering back from New Jersey to Connecticut. That's when he realized the dolls needed to go. When we had the conversation, he told me, what do I do? Do I light them on fire? And I said, please don't, for the sake of research, for the sake of whatever entity might be involved. You don't want to release that and let it go somewhere else. Like, you can send them to me. We worked out something that he could do, which was pouring salt on the dolls outside. So he would go outside his home, salt the dolls, and create a severance between his house, his being, and the dolls. And I said, once they are outside and you've created that protection layer of salt between the dolls and yourself, do not bring them back in the house. He finally does this, and he said, what do I do after the dolls are gone? And I advised to do, a cleansing soak with salt, release everything that is not belonging to you, and just drain the water, and you should be good. Might be a little unsettled, again, given the older artifacts in his home, if they were interacting in some way and they were unsettled by the dolls, this is gonna take a little bit of time to settle. He messages me while he's on the way to the post office, and he's like, I just started my car on the way to the post office and it's making a weird noise. And I said, go slow. If you need to, schedule a pickup. Now, keep in mind, like, these dolls are feeding off the energy. They know they're affecting him. So someone like a mail carrier can move the dolls safely, but he can't at this point because they know they can affect him. He gets the dolls out and he's like, it's done. He does his cleansing and I give him a few days to settle. That's how they ended up at my place. It took a few days for them to come in the mail. And since then I have checked in with Ryan. It had been over a week and he said, it's been quiet, surprisingly. And I said, perfect. So whatever he did with the salt and the ritual worked for him to completely sever him from these entities and these dolls. He bought them from a very reputable dealer at a huge market in Connecticut. And there were 11 of them to begin with. And to me, it wasn't a collection. A collection is you buy one great example of each. You don't buy dozens of the same doll. So at this point, this is where I am truly considering that these may have been intentionally haunted. And I'm trying to figure out, were they given to Ryan on purpose because of who he is with his collection and all of the things that he has? Or are these something that someone just wanted to do so for whatever person would have them would be cursed? I knew that taking these in was a risk, and this is the first thing I brought in my collection that people have warned me to be careful with. As soon as the dolls arrived here, the first thing I did was buy them a case. I want to show them that I respect them. I'm going to give them their own space to be in. And I made sure to get a very intentional case that's just the right size for them and make sure that they are separate from the other objects in the house. A few days after getting the case, I call my friend Seth, who's a medium, and he does a remote reading. Now, Seth has this way of knowing things that I have no idea how he knows them, but we work together a lot and have a really good relationship. Immediately when he starts reading, he's like, oh, I'm seeing two different entities here, which explains the comments of people that are saying, you know, I feel like they're really innocent and misunderstood while others feel a dark energy. Seth says the same thing. It's almost like there's this innocent of the dolls and then this dark, intentionally placed energy sewn into them in hopes that someone could make them come alive, which was similar to my intuitive feelings. Throughout all of this experience, through Ryan, through the seller, through Seth, and myself, we haven't had a name. The most we've worked towards is calling them number 1 and number 2. We're hoping that through research we can find a name, which is why I contacted Kalani in hopes that a name is about to come out in the investigations.
So this case in particular was very interesting to me because when I talked to Becky, at first I wasn't very interested until she started telling me the story of these dolls. Now, something I do want to mention is the fact that I have seen Annabelle, I have experienced Robert the Doll, and Becky has also seen Annabelle. Now, this adds a different layer to haunted objects for us because these are some of the most haunted objects in the world, and that's been confirmed by thousands of people. So for these dolls to have the impact that they're having is something to take note of. The main objective of this investigation tonight is to try and see if we can identify the names of these two dolls. The reason this is important is because 1, it will give a sign of respect to the dolls because now we have a name to address them properly. And 2, it'll let us continue to try and research their story and see why or what has caused these dolls to be haunted and possibly cursed. Okay, so we are now attempting to figure out the names of these two dolls here. Now, Seth did the reading, and he said that there was at least 2 entities attached to what he could pick up.
Correct.
One that he thought probably was with the dolls, and then one
Might have been intentionally placed in order to haunt them on purpose.
So we don't know what to expect. We may not get a name. We may get multiple names. Something to point out, though, is that even though there's 2 dolls, it still could be one being inhabiting both. But we don't really know what to expect tonight. So all we're going to try and do is see if we can give these dolls a name. Because regardless of anything that we get tonight, they have already caused a ton of issues. And they have a lot of power. And I think part of what could help kind of bring it back under control would be giving them a name and allowing them to be recognized for who they actually are.
Yep.
And not
have
just
something to address them by.
Yeah, because that might be what's infuriating whatever's here is no one knows who it is.
Yeah, it feels like it's sort of hidden with these dolls. You give it a name, it might be able to bring it forward and talk about what's going on.
So we're actually sitting for this investigation because I'm a lot taller than this case, and we wanted to be eye level with the dolls here. So the first thing we're going to try is the DR60. So we're going to do a recorder session, and hopefully we get some names.
Yep. So I'm going to open the case to try and make the connection a little bit greater without the glass barrier. And so since all of this activity has happened, you are going to be the first person that's going to be exposed to these dolls outside of their case. So I don't know what kind of energy that's going to bring forward. They've had some time to kind of be in there and have their own little enclosure. So hopefully containing that energy. That's the intention that we set. I understand that glass isn't.
The light just died. So the light just died. You can still see it, I think. So we'll just keep rolling.
Okay.
But, okay, so I'm the first person since they've been in their case.
Yep, since they've caused the activity that almost ruined someone's life, to see them and be close to them that way. So we're going to open the case, and we're going to make sure that they know that we're addressing them directly. So
yeah, because we are in a room where there's other items that have entities attached, so it's very important to be specific.
Yep.
Also, this is your warning now. I'll give you a quick 10 seconds. If you want to stop watching before we open up the case. Again, we are not liable for anything that should happen or could happen, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to leave if you're just not ready to play around with these dolls. Okay, so open it up. You can still see the salt.
yeah,
Like,
they were really salted. They were taking no chances when they salted the dolls.
okay, well, I'm gonna...
So you can place it in there, especially maybe we'll be able to pick up on a specific one's name if we place the DR like on the same platform that they're on, so they know we're specifically trying to reach that one.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out what your name is. My name's Kalani, and I just want to talk with you and tell people more about your story. So I have this little silver device here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. It won't hurt you, but it will let us hear you if you can speak into it. So we're trying to figure out your name tonight. And if you just speak into that device. Can you tell us your name, please?
I know we've been calling you these dolls and the dolls, but we'd like to have something more personal to address you by. I brought you in my home. I'm trying to show you some respect, and we want to respect you even further by giving you a name. Could you tell us your name?
Three, two, one. All right. Let's see what we got.
I know we've been calling you these dolls and the dolls, but we'd like to have something more personal to address you by. I brought you in my home. I'm trying to show you some respect, and we want to respect you even further by giving you a name. Could you tell us your name?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What the fuck?
And you weren't even holding that.
Hang on, let me fast forward. It says something before the scream.
I know we've been calling you these dolls and the dolls, but we'd like to have something more personal to address you by. I brought you in my home. I'm trying to show you some respect, and we want to respect you even further by giving you a name. Could you tell us your name?
That's loud.
I mean, there wasn't even anything. There was no way. Like,
No, we weren't. I wasn't even touching it.
You know, when you hold it, sometimes something could happen, but like it was sitting flat. Like,
Okay, well, I got that. I don't.
I will say this is the one that most people have felt most uneasy by. Like a majority of the people who have seen this doll through pictures and video have felt like there's something with the top one. So something is not happy, and even that kind of speaks to the duality of what people are saying is going on, because you hear this like almost gentle whisper, and then it's just like, no.
Yeah, I mean, that was loud.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I've had screams before, but that one is very intentional. And there was a lot of, you could tell there was energy behind it. So maybe we try and put it on the bottom shelf.
That's what I'm thinking.
And see if that makes a difference. Please don't scream. Okay, can you tell us your name, please?
I know this is a new place and it's probably frightening to you guys, but I did go out. I bought this case as kind of a gift to you. I want to make sure you have a place to be. Could you tell me what your name is?
out, I bought this case as kind of a gift to you. I want to make sure you have a place to be. Could you tell me what your name is?
What?
You have a place to be. Could you tell me what your name is? Car.
My name is something. Hang on.
Car.
He was trying. I hear my name is, but I don't get the name.
Okay, can you tell us your name?
Maybe they don't want to tell us their name.
But it did have that same breathy.
Yeah, like, again, like that, there's almost like a different tone.
It's almost like there's one trying to speak, and then before it gets out the information that we're actually asking for, it's just like.
I want to talk to the dolls.
Let's just. Something I do is like I won't even ask a question. Just let it sit
And let them talk.
and see. So, if you can hear me,
Yeah, that's right.
you can say whatever you want to say. We just want to figure out how to address you and where to go from here.
Car. Car. Car.
I have it turned pretty low. I wonder if it's even picking up.
I think it will because the rain. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
I have it turned pretty low. I wonder if I think it will because the rain. Yeah, I can see it.
Nothing. But you put that on the top one this time too, and it didn't pick up that loud.
No, so
Let's
what we
ask
had.
him his name again.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I want to talk to him. Let's see. Okay. So both of us are here to try and communicate with you. We only mean respect. I understand that some people have talked to you in some pretty disrespectful ways, and that made you really angry. We're hoping that we can figure out what's going on and why you guys have caused some of the trouble that you did, but we understand and we're not angry at you. So if you could share your names with us, it would be really helpful to tell your story and make sure a lot of people get to hear about you and everything you've been through.
Outside? Okay. Outside. Okay, can you try and tell us your name again, please?
Do you have a name? Do you remember the name of the person who had you last?
Are you causing the people at home to feel your presence? 3, 2, 1.
Could be, I don't know their name.
Okay, can you try and tell us your name again, please?
I don't have a name.
Do you have a name? Do you remember the name of the person who had you last? Are you calling with people at home to steal your present?
Listen to that first part. It says, I don't have a name.
Okay, can you try and tell us your name again, please?
Yeah.
Do you have a name? Do you remember the name of the person who had you last? Are you calling with people at home to steal your present?
I mean, there's something trying to talk. Let's try it again on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because again, that's the one that screamed at us. Maybe it doesn't have a name.
Okay, I know we're getting repetitive, but can you please tell us your name? Are you afraid if we have your name, you'll lose power? Were you the one causing all the problems for Ryan?
My name is Becky. Can you tell me your name?
Three, two, one.
Repetitive, but can you please tell us your name? Are you afraid if we have your name, you'll lose power? Name. Are you afraid if we have your name, you'll lose power? Were you the one causing all the problems for Ryan? My name is Becky. Can you tell me your name?
I mean, there's definitely something trying to speak.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
just
weird
not
how it
very
said
clear.
No.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like what I've experienced is sometimes they don't give you a name because they don't want you to know. But we've tried with the recorder. I mean, we could always also try with like Estes to see if maybe that's an easier way for them to communicate through someone. The only thing is there is the risk because you are the one that's channeling, I guess, into whatever this is, right? Seth told us that there's something darker with these, but
One thing I've tried when communicating with objects is when I do the Estes, I will hold the hand or touch the object that I'm specifically trying to channel whatever's attached to. So we could try that with these, see what happens.
okay, well, let's do that.
Okay, talk.
Hello?
Oh, wait. I'm gonna grab this one's hand.
We're speaking of, Okay. So again, my name is Kalani. And I'm just here to tell you.
Vulnerable.
I could be vulnerable for you if you'd like. We've heard some crazy stories about you and what you're capable of, but we also heard that you were disrespected, and we apologize.
Bad people.
Yeah. I don't think he knew what he was messing with you, but that's okay. He learned. He gives you the respect you asked for now, right?
Are you talking about God?
No?
Fix it.
What do you want me to fix? You want me to fix the doll?
How do they live here?
What's wrong?
Telling me.
What? It's almost like there's two talking to each other.
Don't do it.
We're just looking for a name. Can one of you give us your name?
I am.
You are what?
What?
Who are you? What's your name? We just want to address you by your name. That's the only reason I asked.
Twosome.
There's two of you. Is there different names for each of you?
Cemetery.
What about a cemetery? We have this theory
Hand.
that hand,
Blow to our head.
the blow to your head's from a cemetery? Did someone perform a ritual on you, maybe, to attach you to these items?
$12.
Is that how old you are, maybe? Again, my name's Kalani. I'm not trying to...
Hi, buddy.
Hello. I don't mean you any harm, though. I'm just trying to tell people more about you. So many people are interested in hearing who you are. Can you tell me where you're from, maybe?
Is that moving?
Huh?
I can feel it, like, moving. I don't know if it's because I'm resting my arm in a... I swear I thought you were moving it.
No, I
Like, it
didn't
just
touch
felt like it was going, like, rocking back and forth.
No.
Try again. It felt like, almost like just like energy, it felt like a breeze. That's why I thought, like, you guys, I literally thought you were behind it, like, pushing it. Like, maybe behind the case or something.
No.
And I was like, is he messing with me? I know you wouldn't, but it just felt really weird. All right, friend. Let's see what's going on.
Okay, are you trying to move yourself to freak out Becky?
2.
You keep saying the number 2. There's gotta be... Is it because there's 2 dolls? Is one of you upset that she's not holding your hand?
Blood.
I heard that to the headset. Do you want blood?
Still took out.
Did someone do something to these dolls to entrap you here?
Talking to me.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You don't have to be afraid to communicate with us. We're not going to do anything to you. We just want to figure
You
out...
thought you were right. 10.
Thought I was right about what? What? We're just trying to get your name.
Repeat it.
What is your name? Mine's Kalani from Tennessee. I came here just to speak with you. Can you tell me your name so I can address you?
Coming to get me.
No, I'm not coming to get you. You're staying right where you're at. You've got your own case now.
Close the door.
You want me to close the door to the case? Do you not like that she's in your space? It's really weird I was talking about the case right when it said close the door.
Do it again.
Is there more than one entity?
Touch it. Come to life.
That's
Dirty.
creepy. Hey, no, I clean my hands. What do you mean dirty? Okay, will you tell me your name now? I'm playing by your rules. Why did you cause so much trouble for Ryan? That is certain naughty.
Were you touching it?
Well, I touched.
Listen, like, this doesn't even make sense. You have to try it. You have to try it.
Well, it told me to touch the bottom one.
Listen, try it. I don't understand what's going on. It's like it moves. Just try it.
Okay, I'm gonna put this
Okay.
in here. When you said blood, though, I heard blood actually like through it.
It was clear. It was blood.
Some of it lined up though, and then I started talking about the case, and then you said close the door.
Touch, even if it's just like not about what comes through the headset. Try touching that doll under sensory deprivation and blindfold yourself and hold its hand. I promise you I will not move it. Give it like a few minutes. It feels like the doll's rocking back and forth, but you guys are saying it was still?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like pulling it and jerking it back and
No.
forth. Okay, try it.
A lot of things. No.
Do you have energy vibrating through you? Kind of feels like you were moving a little bit.
Say it.
Does something...
Eddie.
What gives you power?
Release me. What was your name?
You don't... My name's Becky. It's always been Becky or Rebecca. You don't like when we touch you? Is that the problem? You don't like being in the
Ready.
case? Ready for what? Do you not like your case? You liked it better when you were...
Boom. Ella.
Do you like scaring people? I think you're just giving us random names. Why won't you tell us your name? Are you shy? Can you tell us how old you are?
What are you talking about?
Do you
I'm
have it?
overwhelmed.
It's too much?
This is me talking. It feels like the arm is getting hot. like temperature.
Are you making the arm feel hot right now?
Energized.
You have energy in you, but you don't know what to do with it. So you just send it everywhere and cause chaos? Is that what this is about? You just like to make things happen because you have all this energy and you don't know what to do with
Glass.
it? What about the glass? You don't like how it contains you? Is there something we can get you that would make you happy?
Before Eddie fell. That's what.
Who was Eddie?
That's what Beth told me.
Talking about a lot of people. Can you tell me where you came from?
Edward. There is. Bah. It's like a weird noise. It's hot.
Did you feel the like shaking movement?
Yeah, I tried to keep my arm as like still as possible.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if it's like because I'm holding my arm
like
up
weird...
and it's making it like numb and then it feels more sensitive.
It felt really weird though. It felt like it was getting hot.
Yeah, it's just like weird. But then when they were talking about energy, it almost feels like maybe they were making bad things happen because they have so much energy they don't know what to do with it.
Maybe
and now
like kids?
Like they're just like, we have this because this person wanted them to be haunted. They're like, here, have this energy, like be haunted. And now they're like, now what do we do with all of this? So, I mean, this is like the first time they've been investigated. So they don't really know the equipment. They don't really know how to do it. And they really don't seem like they want to sacrifice a name. They were talking about a lot of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of like
they're talking about someone, and it's like, but they have, these are almost 100 years old now. They're like 90 years old. So they have 90 years of talking about people. But it's like, when you directly ask, like, hey, what's your name? How old are you? What's going on with you? They're like, not telling you. Just got really cold, like right in front of my face. There's no air or anything, like my face just got cold.
Yeah, it is.
Is it cold around them?
It's like a temperature difference. I feel a little...
Oh no, it is cold.
Yeah.
They're cold. You can feel coldness around the... This is so weird. What would make that?
I don't know. Are you happy that you have a case? You were a part of a big collection of dolls. Do you miss your friends?
Does it make you upset that you were separated?
I'm just gonna play this back. Sometimes when you're not, like, just trying to...
You guys getting tired? Yeah, you like to make it go off?
They attempt to close the case when you're under arrest. For people giggles, let's just...
I'll be honest, the other day when the case was closed, it seemed like they had more energy to ring it.
They said that when you're under arrest.
Okay, I'm closing the case. If you guys don't feel so closed, maybe all your energy's kind of contained in there. They were talking about the glass too, so. Could you touch that bell at the top of your case one more time? There's no air or anything, like my face is cold.
Yeah, it is.
Is it cold around now?
Like a temperature difference. I feel a little...
Oh no, it is cold. They're cold. You can feel coldness around them. This is so weird. Don't we make that?
I don't know. Are you happy that you have a case?
What was that? Hang on.
So weird. Don't we make that?
I don't know. Are you happy that you have a case?
Yes, happy. Listen.
So weird. Don't we make that?
I don't know. Are you happy that you have a case?
Yes, happy.
You were a part of a big collection of dolls. Do you miss your friend?
I missed him?
Yep, I miss them.
You were a part of a big collection of dolls. Do you miss your friend?
Does it make you upset that you were separated?
I thought I heard something. Okay, so maybe closing the case is the way they're comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I think they like the idea of being respected enough and people can't just have access to them. I also think that like something about their energy is just kind of chaotic. That's how it felt with the manifestations of what happened to Ryan. I've said that from the beginning. So like if you think about like chaos, if it's just like bouncing
Contained.
off, then yep. And like it's an intentional case for that reason. So maybe they're able to communicate more because that contained energy is not just open.
Well, let's try our name again with the case closed, because I don't think we ever tried it with it
No.
closed. All right. So you seem to be a lot happier now that the case is closed. Can you tell us your name now, please?
It'd be really helpful if you could tell us the name to call you before my friend has to go back on the road. She's just trying to figure out what you like to call yourself.
My foot keeps falling asleep.
I'm sorry.
This might be the stillest I've ever been for a investigation.
You're not happier now that case is closed. Can you tell us your name now, please?
It'd be really helpful if you could tell us the name to call you before my friend has to go back on the road. Just trying to figure out what you like to call yourself.
I can't make it out.
Can you get up happier now that case is closed? Can you tell us your name now, please?
It'd be really helpful if you could tell us the name to call you before my friend has to go back on the road. Just trying to figure out what you like to call yourself.
It's saying something, I just can't make it out.
It almost sounded like Dan.
Dan,
But
Dan
it
the
wasn't
doll?
clear enough to go with it.
Dan the doll? Dapper Dan?
Well, that's why I was like, wonder if they know.
Can you get up happier now that case is closed? Can you tell us your name now, please?
It'd be really helpful if you could tell us the name to call you before my friend has to go back on the road. Just trying to figure out what you like to call yourself.
I can kind of hear that now that I'm listening for it.
Yeah, but that's not, it's not clear enough to say that that's what it is.
Tell us your name, doll. Please.
Case is closed.
The case is closed. I just want to know your name. Can you hear me? I just want to know your name.
You draw a little heart.
The last doll I talked to, I gave it my blood, but you're not getting it.
They do seem to like it. They did bring it up, but...
No blood, no blood. We're not giving you any blood. One more time. I'm not even going to ask you anything. Just tell me your name. Or maybe you. It's weird how their heads are split.
I know. People had said to fix them and stuff, and it's just kind of like it's too soon to do that. We just have to do like preliminary investigations and see what they want. But they did mention fixing it.
It said something about a cemetery too. Cemetery head.
It was very clear. Cemetery.
Okay. So I've drew a heart on the back of the case. Maybe I'll. I'm gonna hold it right here, just so he can speak a little bit clearer. All right. Can you tell us your name? This is my final attempt. Okay. Let's see what we got.
Can you tell us your name? This is my final attempt.
Nothing. Not today.
You can see the oil from my hand on this glass. I noticed it when I was looking underneath.
From where?
From where I rested my hand on the glass, if you look.
Oh.
It's right there. So now they're gonna curse me. They have a piece of me inside of their case.
Wonder if the person who tried to make them haunted went to the cemetery.
What if they did it in the cemetery?
Well, that's what I'm saying, so that...
I think that's what I asked during Estes. Because I asked about a ritual, and then you said cemetery, and either hand or head.
Hand.
And then,
Yeah, cemetery hand. So, like, I don't know. There's no way we could even verify this. But if I were looking for some lost souls to inhabit some haunted dolls, I might check the cemetery for those. But that being said, you might experience things after leaving too.
I have to drive 8 hours home.
Yeah.
I have to drive home.
They've been known. They have a track record for causing car troubles. So you be very careful.
Please, don't. My car is new. I don't need any car problems. Do you hear what I'm saying?
We're only trying to help you, so everyone leaves, everyone's protected and safe.
You've got your case now, so just stay there. Well, we didn't get a name, but we did get a few good responses.
Yeah.
I mean, at bare minimum, the scream was enough. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then the happy about the case was cool. So we do at least know that they can respond to what we're asking.
Yeah.
and they're just choosing not to give us their name yet. Yeah. And maybe when they get more comfortable with the environment, whoever's in here, they'll give up that information. Or maybe they never do. Or they don't know. I mean, that's another option.
Well, they may have never had a name. Someone might have just had them. And I think the interesting thing was we got the scream. So what I'm getting from all of this is that they have a ton of energy and they don't know how to use it. And so what might have looked like really bad, horrific things happening to people might have just been the only way they knew how to expend themselves. So now we're like, hey, take a step back. We know you have energy. We know you have power. We're going to try and contain that and use it to let us know. But all they've known for however long is to just kind of make trouble. So.
And also, we didn't call them stupid dolls.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We did not insult them, and we don't intend to. So maybe they need to build some trust too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is, right? Because they've changed hands quite a bit in the past.
You are literally the first investigator. We have the medium reading, and I'm an investigator, but this is the first full investigation that's been done with these dolls. It takes time when it's something new, and rarely do people get to see the side of, hey, this is not something that has been investigated hundreds of times like other dolls. This is our first time getting to use that energy. So.
And it is scary though, because there is the unpredictable nature of, right, we could be wrong, and whatever is attached to this could be as bad as we think it is.
Yep.
And that's just kind of a risk you take as an investigator when you're dealing with new hauntings or new to us hauntings.
Right. You have these other majorly known haunted dolls. How many people have seen them and nothing has happened?
Yeah.
And these ones, we only know that one person warned another person. The other person that was warned had a terrible time, and they've been here for a week.
Well, and the really interesting thing to top it all off is you look at all of the things that have passed through his collection, and these are the things that made him a believer in the paranormal. It wasn't anything else that he's owned. It was these two dolls out of the hundreds of items that have passed through his hands.
Yep.
These are the ones that converted a skeptic into a believer.
Yep. And out of any object, in all of the haunted objects, an object that's not only haunted, but one that completely converted someone into believing in the paranormal, and they still say, I didn't believe. After multiple conversations, I know this person. I know how firm of a skeptic they are. And they have all these things that were used in rituals, occult books, all of these objects. And these dolls that seem the least obvious, these are Dapper Dan dolls. So that makes it pretty compelling to me. So,
well, maybe we'll have a name one day, but it didn't happen tonight. But huge thanks to Beckie and to our friends here for letting us investigate. And Kalani Ghost Hunter out.